ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Sephiroth to fight the storm that is approaching. Begin.
The great philosopher Plato once said, "The measure of a man is what he does with power."
But to these guys, power is the measure of a man.
Sephiroth, the fearsome one-winged angel of Final Fantasy.
And Vergil, the half-demon son of Sparda from Devil May Cry. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Death battle.
Through the
I heard Vergil was massively overpowered in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, to the point where other players feared him. Is that true? And if so, why?
Through the millennia, legends were passed of a source of unlimited energy, the Promised Land. Unfortunately, all hope of finding this sacred ground had been lost, until the Shinra Electric Power Company excavated the remains of a being believed to hail from the very land they sought.
They called this weird naked purple lady Jenova and thought that if they could bring her back to life, she could help them find the Promised Land. But apparently, they just didn't have any Phoenix Downs.
If they couldn't resurrect a being who could lead them to the Promised Land, Shinra decided they would simply create their own. After many experiments infusing Jenova Cells with those of a human's, they finally found their savior. His name was Sephiroth.
With hair like that, it's no wonder he was created in a lab. Look at how majestic that mane is.
The funny thing is about Sephiroth is you actually cannot picture him without long hair. Like, the hair going all the way down behind him is such an iconic part of his identity. I can't picture him bald, or I can't picture him with like a fade or like a broccoli zoomer haircut. Nor should we ever see him like that. But it's kind of cool that in a way his hair is kind of just part of his body.
According to Final Fantasy lore, Sephiroth has to use an entire bottle of shampoo and conditioner every single time he bathes.
Why do you know that? Did you join his fan club or something?
Something tells me this is Crisis Core information. Dear members of the Silver Elite, in this update we present another piece of Sephiroth trivia, the secrets to his beautiful long hair. The hair products he uses are of the highest grade, made and supplied by the Shinra company. He seems to use one whole bottle of shampoo and conditioner every time he washes his hair. I don't need to know this. I feel like this kind of cheapens his character. I don't need to picture Sephiroth just like shampooing and conditioning his hair. In a way, it's kind of like a cooler explanation that maybe he doesn't even think about it. Like the Jenova cells in his body just keep him like heaps clean and perfect or something like that. I don't know. This is like part of the Disneyfication of Final Fantasy, or making these characters just kind of more ridiculous or a bit harder to take seriously.
But Shinra wasn't interested in Sephiroth for his hair. Instead, he was an essential part of their soldier program.
Wait, this electric company has their own private military? I'd hate to miss a payment with those guys, especially if they sent Seph after me. I mean, look at the ridiculously long sword he keeps with him.
It is a very cool idea that Shinra isn't actually a government. It's actually like an electric company that just has all the governments in the world in its pocket. And it has its own private army as well. It's like a Star Wars army, except corporate. Such a cool idea.
That's his Masamune. This 7'2" behemoth of a blade is a lot like the Nodachi swords they used back in feudal Japan. But instead of wielding something long with two hands like those, Sephiroth only needs one.
Even that speaks nothing of his effectiveness as a war.
Such a cool idea that the sword is like 7'2" long and only he's strong enough to wield it. I remember it says that in the instruction manual that came with FF7 back on the PS1 disc. So cool. Yeah, the tough ring. See, in the in the PS1 translation, it was called the tooth ring, as in the G was a P. That's at least how it was in my version. So, and I remember all the weapons, the like ultimate weapon, diamond weapon, whatever. Weapon was in all caps, and it just made it seem heaps more intense, like ultimate weapon, ruby weapon. And I kind of still spell it that way to this day, like with all caps. It just kind of feels right.
Yeah, you know when people spread legends of someone, they usually make him out to be even better than he really is? It's the total opposite with Sephiroth.
With his superhuman speed, strength, and durability, Sephiroth was instrumental in ensuring Shinra's victory in the Wutai War, conquering the last free nation on the planet. he returned home a legend.
But all those warm, fuzzy feelings of victory didn't last long. While on a mission to the town of Nibelheim, Sephiroth found a bunch of books on the Jenova project. That's when he discovered he was a secret science project the whole time.
The truth crushed Sephiroth and drove him mad. In a rage, he annihilated Nibelheim, but was stopped by a mercenary named Cloud Strife. Sephiroth
Hell yeah,
was
brother.
impaled by the Buster Sword and fell to his death.
My man!
Well, that's disappointing. Which is what I would have said if Sephiroth hadn't dropped into a hole in the ground that led him to the giant Windows screensaver called the Life Stream.
The Life Stream is a buried river of energy which basically maintains life across the planet. Normally, merging with the Life Stream is the equivalent of entering the afterlife, but not for Sephiroth.
And this is where things get weird, so buckle up. Still conscious, Sephiroth's essence floated through the life stream for years until he absorbed enough energy to rebuild his body. With the energy of the life stream, he can control.
It is actually really strange when you're playing this
He
game
absorbed
that this is the first time you actually see Sephiroth as he is today.
energy to
Like, all the Sephiroths you've been seeing up until this point are actually like Jenova Cells imitating his form. And there's various debates on how this works. I personally think narratively it works better that Sephiroth himself is the puppeteer manipulating her own cells for his own purpose, because he's got a more human conscious and he is Cloud's nemesis. Jenova, I don't know how many thoughts are really in her head, to be perfectly honest. I think Jenova is more like the Thing. She's like a giant clump of alien cells, and she kind of just assumes whatever form it takes to trick you and kill you. But I don't think she's thinking like a person, if that makes any sense. Whereas, and also, who the fuck is Cloud to Jenova? No one. Likewise. Whereas Cloud and Sephiroth, they have history. So yeah. Bro's got lats? Yeah, damn straight. Look at these wings, mate. He's more like the two-winged angel. Am I bloody right?
With the energy of the life stream, he can control other beings with Jenova Cells.
Including the corpse of Jenova, who he manipulated like a puppet. And
Oh my god, it's the eyeball boob! It's the famous eyeball boob! That is not in 7 Rebirth, which was probably the most upsetting thing for me. All I've ever wanted to see was the eyeball boob in glorious 4K. And Square Enix denied me that privilege.
As himself.
Oh, what the hell? That's his mom? Who would do that to their own mom? I mean, I know she's a genocidal alien monster, but...
Oh my god, there it is! The eyeball boob! It's there!
But Sephiroth's descent into the life stream offered him even more. It transformed him from a mere super soldier into the most dangerous being on the planet. He's strong enough to throw a man hundreds of feet skyward, move at supersonic speeds, and withstand brutal stab wounds through vital organs.
He's got illusion powers that can trick people by creating an entirely fake scenario. He can lift people with his mind, including himself, and then he can just fly. That's how it works, right?
Additionally, Sephiroth can cast magic thanks to his on-hand materia. Materia is crystallized life energy which grants different powers according to the type of materia used.
This lets Sephi attack with fire, lightning, ice, and earth-based magic. He can block attacks with barrier and reflect, and heal himself with cure and regen. And ever since jumping into the life stream, he's had unlimited access to his magical powers.
With his
I guess where I think that like Vergil may be stronger, or can be argued to be stronger, is Sephiroth is still bound by the rules of science, if that makes any sense. Because in FF7's world, magic is actually still, in a way, scientific. Materia is like condensed Mako energy, and through that, when you equip it, you're able to channel the powers of the land, whether it be water, fire, lightning, and so on and so forth. Whereas like Vergil is like kind of pure fantasy in that regard. He's fighting demons and devils and basically living in hell and immortal. It's kind of a different kind of power. It depends. Let's see how much they measure it. But that's, you're kind of pitching science against fantasy here.
Since jumping into the life stream, he's had unlimited access to his magical powers.
With his new godlike abilities, Sephiroth began a plan to stop mankind from drying up the planet's life force.
That doesn't sound so scary. Does that mean he's an environmentalist, or...?
But to do this, he decided to use black materia to summon a giant meteor to destroy the planet and absorb all of its life energy for himself.
So, like, an opposite environmentalist, a planet vampire.
It's not actually that he's trying to destroy the planet, at least from my memory. I think he wanted to use media to create a huge wound in the planet so that the life stream would send tons and tons of energy to that wound, and then he would siphon it and basically absorb it like a super spirit bomb and become an ultra god. He's not trying to destroy the world, he's trying to rule over it. I don't think that's canonically correct. Sorry, I am being Mr. Actually over here, but it's whatever. You know, let's see where they go with this. Sephiroth is basically the ultimate supremacist with demigod-like powers. Very dangerous combination.
Life energy for himself.
So like an opposite environmentalist, a planet vampire. I mean, we're talking about a guy who kicked a dude through solid concrete, murdered the crap out of a 30-foot serpent with a spike through.
That is just one of the greatest images in video game history. Like, you could actually, if this was a painting from the 1800s and it was hanging up in the Louvre, you wouldn't think twice, all right? You'd be like, oh yeah, that belongs here. It's just that awesome, that iconic Midgar Zolom image. It almost looks biblical.
And tanked a dragon's flamethrower attack without even getting a teensy bit hurt.
A particularly impressive feat considering this attack was capable of one-shotting fellow soldier Zack Fair.
Yeah, and I made one of my earliest shorts, actually, where I talk about the differences between OG FF7 and 7 Rebirth, is that, like, in this, the dragon stands on its hind legs, walks all the way up to Sephiroth, bites him in the head several times, and it's just 0 damage. Flamethrowers him, 0 damage. Like, it's just, you're looking at this guy and like, hang on, when we catch up to this guy, how are we supposed to beat him? How do we, this guy's too strong.
The impressive feat considering this attack was capable of one-shotting fellow soldier Zack Fair.
Wiz, you may need to up your prescription, because that's definitely Cloud.
No, Cloud was just recalling false memories there. It was really Zack. However, it was Cloud who impaled Sephiroth pre-livestream with
Hell yeah, brother.
And holy God, is it huge! It's like 2 feet wide! You'd think a stab from that thing would just
Oh
cut
my
it in half.
god. Yeah, and in a way, getting stabbed by the Buster Sword should actually nearly cleave you in half entirely. Like, you should, your body should basically just be hanging by a thread after that. That's actually, like, lethal, what Cloud did.
Steph just kind of shook it off.
And in his rematch with Cloud, he blocked an attack strong enough to crater the metal around him. Considering the diameter of the crater, the surface area of Sephiroth's feet, and assuming the most likely steel composition, I estimate this attack to equal nearly 1,600 tons of force.
Sephiroth can use that wicked sword to stab and lift wannabe heroes by their ribcage, slice through skyscrapers, and shoot energy beams that can shred these huge Mako cannons. And from the life stream, Sephi figured out he could create new bodies or even take on other forms.
These forms greatly resemble certain creatures found in Christian and Jewish mythology.
He certainly looks the part when he goes into his ultimate form.
It's such a cool image. When you saw that for the first time, if you're like 10 years old in 1997, you were probably intimidated. You were probably like, what the fuck is that? How am I gonna beat this thing? This is biblically accurate Sephiroth. He's got these wings below, but they're almost like tentacles, like an octopus. He's an angel, but wrong. There's something not quite right about him. 2 halos. Halo around the body, halo around the head. 1 angelic wing, but it's wrong. This wing is, there's nothing holy about this. Normal human arm. Just so sick. Just so awesome. Amazing boss arena. Incredible final boss song as well. Like, you know, you've come this far and then you get like this operatic orchestra. Sephiroth! It's so good. It's one of the greatest final boss reveals of its time period. Probably of all time in video games. Yeah. Yeah, it makes you go, oh no. Because you think you've beaten him. You think you've beaten Bizarro Sephiroth, and you're like, oh man, that was a hard final boss fight. And then you're wrong. And then this guy shows up.
Regardless, Sephiroth does possess a single black wing, a blatant symbol of his fall from grace.
So basically Final Fantasy does everything it can to not be subtle. Just like Sephiroth's most devastating attack, Supernova, which decimates an entire solar system. Wait, if Zeph is that powerful, how does anyone ever beat him?
Don't get the wrong idea here. There's a lot of debate over how Supernova actually works, but I think it's pretty clear that Sephiroth isn't creating the explosion himself. Rather,
Yeah, it can be argued that supernova is actually like a gigantic illusion that attacks the mind, because if he blows up the sun and it consumes Earth, well, you kind of just destroyed Earth. I mean, what's the point? But it makes more sense that it's an enormous psychological attack, which should not be underestimated. I mean, if your mind is crushed, you're still lost, you know? You can't even fight, so...
Rather, he's transporting his foes to a specific point in time within an alternate dimension.
Careful, Wiz, don't sell him short.
Just look at it.
No. Get your alternate dimensions out of Final Fantasy. Get it out. Get it out. All right, we've had more than enough of these shenanigans with FF7 Remake and Rebirth. Do not put those into the OG. Get out of here. Get out of here, you. I've heard some people argue that even Whispers and Fate Ghosts were in the original FF7. There's no end to how much people will lie about the OG game to try and make it fit with FF7R. All right, there's no escaping the 30-year cook. More like the 30-year cope.
Uses the attack, reality literally crumbles away like glass. This is identical to the animation for certain summoned creatures.
This can be perfectly explained as like it's an attack within your mind. I don't think you need to transport these characters to another dimension, hit them there, and then bring them back to this dimension. It's just silly. I think the simpler explanation is the better one. And multiverses suck and everyone's sick of them. It's over. All right.
According to the official Crisis Core Complete Guide, summons draw their targets into their own space in order to attack. And this is no different.
The ultimate fanfiction guide. Anyway, sorry, let's keep going. Sorry, let's keep going.
In the Dissidia fighting games, Sephiroth goes for the civil approach and opens a dimensional hole to the explosion. The attack is even described as sending destruction even into other dimensions. And if he could summon planet-busting meteors at will, why did he go through so much trouble to get the Black Materia, which literally summons meteors?
That would explain why the supernova doesn't hurt him. He's not really there, just using those illusion powers of his. With all these powers, I can't believe Cloud and friends were able to take him down.
He's not invincible, but he's damn powerful. Ever persistent, Sephiroth departed with a final, chilling promise.
I will.
Someone made a good point. If you can bring them into another dimension, why not just leave them there? Yeah, why bring them into another dimension, hurt them, then bring them back into your own dimension where they can recover and kill you? It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Multiverse basically ruins all storytelling, unless the story itself is written around the concept of multiverse, like Rick and Morty or things like Spider-Man Homecoming. But inserting the idea of multiverse into something like FF7 retroactively is a terrible idea. It dilutes the story and it just basically ruins everything, and everyone knows it.
I will never be a memory.
Why does he sound so bored?
Because all the post-FF7 comp stuff is very boring, that's why. sorry, Todd. Look, it's me. You knew what you signed up for when you got me to react to this. Anyway, let's get going.
A great mutiny transpired in the underworld. The demon warrior Sparda rebelled
here we
against his
go.
evil master,
Here we go,
Mako.
boys.
To protect the world, Sparda did
Here we
his best to
fucking
see the
go.
connection between hell and earth.
But then Sparda got lonely. Or maybe it was just a sausage fest in there. Either way, he snuck out of hell long enough to knock up this chick named Eva. And she popped out a couple of awesome demon slayers. Nice choice.
You may remember the younger of the two, Dante.
Oh yeah, he fought that witch chick with the hair.
But the eldest and potentially deadliest brother was the one and only Vergil.
Hell yeah, brother.
Vergil and Dante were rivals from birth. Dante was a goofball, Vergil was serious. Dante hated his being a demon, and Vergil loved it. It's that classic odd couple scenario.
But then one fateful day, in an act of vengeance against the late Sparda, a group of rogue demons separated the two brothers and killed their mother. Vergil was believed to be dead. But in reality, Vergil survived and set out on his own path to seek his father's immense power for himself.
And he's 100% equipped to be a butt-kicking demon slayer just like his pops. As a half-demon, Vergil can jump several times his own height, move at supersonic speeds, and heal himself quickly, kinda like that Wolverine guy. He can tough out getting stabbed through the lungs, intestines, the heart, body parts I'm pretty sure most people need.
Not if my experiment has anything to say about it.
I kind of think Vergil is canonically faster than Sephiroth. Like, Sephiroth is very strong and he's not slow, but Vergil has the Judgement Cut End. Just the... I am the storm that is approaching. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen Sephiroth do anything like that, at least in the OG.
Say something, Wiz?
I said not if Vergil's abilities have anything to say about it.
Well, sadly, for any human demon or human demon who gets in his way, Vergil also happens to carry some extra deadly weapons on hand, including a spiffy katana called Tomato.
Yamato.
It's said that this sword can cut through anything, even dimensions, and probably tomatoes. Actually, Yamato is the exact thing Sparda used to seal hell from Earth in the first place.
Vergil's sword fighting prowess draws from his Dark Slayer fighting style, which emphasizes
I really think base Vergil would destroy base Sephiroth, or at very least, he'd win overall. Like base Sephiroth is not weak. He's not going down without a fight. But when you then get One Wing Angel Sephiroth versus Devil Trigger Vergil, I don't know. That's when it gets a bit harder to call. But I think base Vergil's stronger. He's just insane.
Sword fighting prowess.
Your mama's so fat, not even Vergil could cut her in half. God, Cladverse. I thank you for that, chat. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Dark Slayer fighting style, which emphasizes multiplication of lightning quick movements and even quicker slashes straight from the
my God,
This
man.
technique is directly influenced by Ei Jutsu, the real-life Japanese art of the quick draw. And thanks to Vergil's demonic powers, he can attack so fast the blade seems invisible.
Yeah, the only thing better than fighting with one sword is fighting with 8. With Vergil's ghostly summoned swords, he can turn himself into a living Beyblade, fire them like a machine gun, or make it rain!
Blades may be Vergil's bread and butter, but if he needs to focus on brute strength, he switches to Beowulf.
He can charge up blink-of-an-eye punches and kicks that hit like a cement truck made of lead and KO some of the toughest demons in just a few hits. And hey, looks like he digs Street Fighter.
It's cool because, like, Vergil to me feels the most right with a sword, the Yamato. It felt a bit weird having him punch and kick at first, but I think it's just, of course, he can fight unarmed as well. And when he does, it's unbelievably intense. He's awesome. All his moves are fucking sick.
There's one more trick up Vergil's sleeve. Thanks to his demon blood, he can access a form known as Devil Trigger. And this mode amplifies everything.
His strength, speed, and healing all get a huge boost, making him several times deadlier than before. Plus, he just looks badass.
In his quest
so
to become
sick.
as powerful as his father, Vergil's abilities skyrocketed. He's taken down dozens of demons in the blink of an eye, and escaped an illusion from the sorcerer Arkham, which makes normal people go crazy.
But if anything's gonna show off what a son of Sparda can really do, it's pitting him against his bro. Sure, Vergil can easily avoid Dante's bullets, but why dodge them when you can spin your sword, line them all up, and fire them back? Like a boss.
In the same battle, they briefly created a 12-foot diameter open space in a heavy rainstorm with nothing but their sword swings. On average, storms can fill a cubic foot space with as many as 30 raindrops. So, Vergil and Dante must have destroyed 108,000 raindrops in less than a second.
If Vergil can swing his sword that fast, I bet he...
Just want to check something real quick. Oh, fuck, this is before DMC5. Ooh, I was just thinking, like, why are we not seeing foot... Oh, that's rough. It's a pity, because I think DMC5 Vergil, it's kind of... DMC5 Vergil is better than FF7 Remake Sephiroth. And that's not me trying to be mean, that is just an objective fact. Vergil's aura and awesomeness has only increased with time, and in DMC5 it is at absolute peak. Whereas Sephiroth in FF7 Remake and Rebirth, he has become far less intimidating than he ever was in the original game because he's overexposed. He shows up in every single scene. He shows up and says, "Soon, Cloud, come to me." Then he reaches over, gives Cloud a little, cups his balls and then gives him a kiss on the cheek and leaves. And he just does this like 50 times before he ever does anything in the game at all. Whereas in the original in the real FF7, when Sephiroth shows up, something bad happens every time. He's like Renoir in Expedition 33 follows this principle. Every time Renoir shows up, someone dies. And OG Sephiroth used to be like that. And he's not like that anymore. So I would say Vergil has continuously gotten better with time, and Sephiroth has continuously gotten worse with time. For that reason alone, I'd say Vergil deserves to win this fight, because he's in a game series that has more respect for its audience and is better written. Yeah, I just said that because it's true. All right, let's keep going.
That fast, I bet he'd make a killing mowing lawns, or chopping meat at the deli, or giving haircuts, or doing that thing where he chops bad guys to pieces so fast they don't even realize they're dead yet. Like when he fought Beowulf. The monster, not the weapon. And then he punched him so hard, he flew 55 feet up and hit the ceiling.
You know what else is great about Vergil? Is that this type of character, you know, the fedora tipping, teleports behind you, nothing personal kid, katana wielder, it's not even my favorite kind of character, but Vergil is one of my favorite characters because he does it so well. I think he's just the best, period, in all of gaming at that. I've never played another game. I don't think there's anything that really tops Devil May Cry 5's Vergil in that particular type of character. I don't know. He's so good at what he does that I respect it, even though it's not necessarily my style.
When comparing Beowulf's size to Vergil, he appears to be as large as an elephant. Given what's available, this seems like our best measure of Vergil's strength, but there is one issue. The Devil May Cry series makes frequent use of slow motion to depict the absurdity of these characters, and this could be a similar case.
So let's look at another slow-mo feat, the rainstorm fight.
At one point, the rain freezes in place for about 2.5 seconds, as Vergil and Dante keep moving, indicating a 14,500% speed increase in real time. Applying the same degree to the Beowulf punch gives us an acceleration speed of about 4,882 feet per second. With that in mind, we can apply our previous data to deduce the maximum height sans ceiling, and determine Vergil's striking strength to be nearly 720 million newtons of force.
Now the thing is, even if you don't know science, you can tell that's a very high number. You can tell that's gonna hurt. A lot. Probably enough to even hurt Sephiroth. That's so much force, it's unbelievable.
But it's even more overpowered than you think. Vergil once got completely cut in half, but healed so fast that it's impossible to even notice.
And his regeneration ability can be worn down.
Yeah,
That's a very cool line. He heals so fast that he didn't even notice he got cut in half. That's insane. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, I fucking love this Jester guy. I love those fights where every time you shoot at his feet, he's just like... Reminded me of Zoidberg in Futurama. Anyway, let's go.
See how this weird jester guy beat him.
But it
This
takes
guy.
a lot to pull off, and Vergil can always just use Yamato to hop through dimensions to get away if he wants.
Sadly, Vergil never got to rule the demon realm like he wanted.
Instead, the Demon King Mundus permanently transformed Vergil into his puppet, irreversibly manipulating his mind in the process.
And then Dante kind of, exploded him. But one or two losses against someone who's basically goddamn Satan hardly makes him a weakling.
Hell and Earth trembles before the power of Vergil.
It'll be fun to fight with the Prince of Darkness. If my father did it, I should be able to do it too.
All right, the combatants are set.
All right, we're on,
Let's end
boys.
this debate once
We're
and
on.
for all.
Okay, we're back. Let's go.
You are powerful. I can see it.
Who are you?
Your despair.
Okay, you're strong.
Come on, Vergil.
But are you fast enough?
Oh, shit! Let's go, boys! So I think Vergil's faster,
Can't be helped.
but Sephiroth's durability is insane. When the fuck did Sephiroth gain this ability? I don't quite remember this from the real FF7. Is this... What is this? Some Ultimania rubbish? Anyway, not fucking up. Whatever. Let's see where it goes. So Sephiroth is now Naruto. Okay.
They're fake.
Stop wasting my time.
Oh, yeah, boys. Funny, I realize that's probably something Sephiroth is not used to. Someone just fucking kicking him in the stomach. Someone punching him in the face. I don't think anyone has ever done that to him before. But Vergil will do that to you, because he's that intense. Alright, let's go.
You're going down.
Oh, the sword shield, let's go. Jeez Louise!
Behold the truth.
Ow! Sephiroth just casts like Q3. to be fair, that's in his arsenal. It's legit. It's lore accurate. All right, let's go.
Behold the truth.
What is that?
Supernova. I saw you pierce the fabric of our dimension.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great.
Disguise this. Witness oblivion.
I can't even be mad at this. This is such a cool idea. Oh, shit. All right, Vergil, let's go.
Free. So you are.
Extra crispy.
These two were extremely powerful swordsmen, but Sephiroth's cunning and stronger abilities led to his victory.
Wait a minute.
You know the sad thing is, before FF7 Remake and Rebirth, I would have been like, yeah, Sephiroth, motherfucker! Whereas now I'm just like, I don't know. But then again, this is before Remake Part 1. It's before Devil May Cry 5. I can see this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too salty these days. Maybe I'm just too much of a jaded boomer. You know what? Let's, I may as well play the role. You know what, Death Battle? How much did Square Enix pay you?
But Sephiroth's cunning and stronger abilities led to his victory.
Wait a minute, I thought the lore said Vergil's sword could cut through anything. Why didn't it cut through Sephiroth's sword?
Yamato was a unique weapon, but its legend clearly exaggerated.
I think that is fairer than Dante versus Clive. I think Dante deserved to win that over Clive. Clive is, you know, his game's not that great. At the very least, Sephiroth does come from OG FF7, which is one of the greatest games ever made. Vergil, I think, if you did this fight again, Rebirth Sephiroth versus Devil May Cry 5 Vergil, I think Vergil would deserve to win, because I think he's simply a better character. I think he just plays better. The series has more respect for its fan base than modern FF does. But this, in the Devil May Cry 4 pre-remake world, yeah, it's whatever. I can live with this. It's not too... It's okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Sephiroth's sword.
Yamato was a unique weapon, but its legend clearly exaggerated. On multiple occasions, it's clashed with Dante's blade and even a common rocket launcher without cutting through either, and sometimes requires an exuberant amount of force to cut through tougher material. But let's discuss the real facts.
Like strength. So Vergil with Beowulf could do 720 million newtons, right? But there aren't a lot of good Sephi strength feats to compare.
First, let's compare Sephiroth to a fellow first-class member of the soldier fighting force, who had also been experimented on with Jenova Cells.
I mean, Sephiroth's strength feat is that a giant dragon can bite him in the head several times and do 0 damage without him even defending, blocking, or guarding. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. Like, even Vergil would probably get a bit hurt by that. So I think Sephiroth is more durable, but Vergil's faster. So it just comes down to that.
Zach Fair.
Remember him? He's the Knot Cloud guy who fought that dragon.
At his peak, Zack could cut through a large metal door with one swing, seemingly with most of his strength. Given the size and width of the door, this feat's sheer strength comes out to 980 million newtons.
And Seph was way stronger than Zack. In fact, if we look at their strength stats when they fought that dragon, Sephiroth was 3.5 times stronger than Zack.
Putting Sephiroth's strength output at over 3 billion newtons. That's almost as much force as 30 Hiroshima bombs.
I could even believe that Sephiroth is physically stronger than Vergil as well. But Vergil has the speed and he's got the sword. And as Kung Fu Hustle said, in martial arts, speed determines the winner.
Strength isn't everything, though. Vergil was technically faster than Sephi, but Sephiroth has handled people of similar speeds before. Plus, Sephiroth could survive plenty of hits because his healing power is broken.
The capabilities of Vergil's healing factor was nearly unprecedented, but it had its limits. In contrast, Sephiroth's healing abilities were only limited by his pool of magic, which was unlimited.
Well, he also had to take some time to cast each healing spell, but that's why he distracted Vergil with his illusions.
We know Vergil was susceptible to illusionary and mental attacks, as it's happened to him multiple times and even led to his in-canon demise.
And Sephiroth's illusions could hide his ultimate technique.
That's great.
Yeah, Vergil's healing was pretty awesome, but it was never gonna hold up under an exploding sun to the face.
Vergil put up a good fight, but he couldn't match Sephiroth's superior strength, magic, and techniques.
Looks like this devil's cried for the last time.
The winner is Sephiroth.
It's just, as you can say, it's just, you can tell how much my faith as a Final Fantasy fan has been shaken that I'm not happy about that. You know what I mean? Like, these days, as I say, I like Vergil more than Sephiroth as he's evolved. But, you know, whatever. This is the pre-remake world. This is the pre-Devil May Cry 5 world. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We'll give that a like. These guys are very good at what they do, and I would just say that, like, even if I don't necessarily like the outcomes or agree with them, I still think they make very good videos. I think that the concept of this channel is very strong. It's very cool. Anyway, thank you for enjoying my reaction and commentary to the Sephiroth versus Vergil death battle. And anyway, like, subscribe, catch me live on Twitch, you know, share your thoughts in the comments. You know the YouTube stuff. All right. Anyway, get out of here. The video's over. It's done. Get out.